This is your writer, Anthony L. Kelly, right here. Check it out. These are my books. Mac, Jaja, book, Sunshine. And this is my first book published, Saving Miss Caroline. And this is my latest, El Manic. Go check this book out, man. This is a nod at hip-hop on its 50th anniversary. This is a nod to one of the illest MCs to ever do it, Nasir Jones. This is me shedding the light on mental illness. I'll leave all the links in the description box.
He was the reason I got car wash. Richard Pryor, the Pointer Sisters, George Carlin. I mean, just it was a blast.
Absolutely.
What did Richard Pryor talk about him? How was that whole experience? And a lot of people say a lot of things about him. So how was your experience?
Richard Pryor was one of the most humble, funny people I've ever met. I mean, he has cracking up on the set. He was quiet sometimes, but when he said something, he was funny. And a really kind heart. He didn't come on as this big Richard Pryor guy. He came on as the Reverend Tim he was supposed to be. And it was a collaborative experience. He was wonderful. I enjoyed working with him.
Now, another legend in the game, a legendary comedian and actor, and just pillar in our community when it comes to acting is Bill Cosby, and his name has been destroyed. It's not. I mean, it is what it is. As of late, and now he's sitting in prison at almost 90 years old, if he's not 90 yet. And you see this happening, and this occurrence is happening more and more. We see now T.I. and Tiny. I don't know if you're aware of that, but now they're going through their set of drama, and it seems like it's going on a lot. So what's your whole thoughts on that? It's Bill Cosby.
It's not only Mr. Cosby, but I hope the day comes when there's equal treatment in terms of crimes. In other words, is in prison. I think Harvey Weinstein, is he still on house arrest in his home, or is he in prison? I don't know.
I think he's home. Yeah.
He's still at home?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Damn. I don't know.
I don't want to.
And some of these other people who have done as bad or worse things than Mr. Cosby, somehow, I'm not saying get a pass, but they get different treatment. And I'm not saying what Mr. Cosby did was right, but I do know that if you're a black celebrity, you're a target. And sometimes the people that you think have your back stab you in the back. And so, and there's always people out there looking to bring you down.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were just waiting for a time. I think when he tried to buy NBC, that was a time when folks, said he was getting a little too uppity or whatever. So,
yeah. A few minutes ago, we were talking about, you said if you're a black celebrity entertainer, you're a target. One guy that you speak out about is Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You talk about him and knowing people close to him. And we talked to his family members personally, his niece and his nephew, a couple of times here on the program. So we got a little connection to the family. What do you think about what's happening to him even after death? Where you had the Safe Chuck and the William Roebuck guy that was trying to get money from his estate. The documentary came out. That, and what do you think about Michael Jackson and knowing people close to him?
Passion, my heart, my love goes out to them because they're not treated like people, they're treated as things. It's like, it's amazing what greed does. Greed, it goes beyond common sense and compassion. It's just they don't care about Michael Jackson. All they care about is what they can get from Michael Jackson. But Michael faced that when he was alive.
Mm-hmm.
I used to, my makeup person when I was in movies early on, was Michael Jackson's makeup person. And one time I was talking to him and he said, I said, tell me about Michael. What is he says, well, Bill, one of the most heartbreaking moments, Mike used to come in here every week and I would put these masks and other things on him and costumes and face makeup so that he could not be recognized. So because he was in Hollywood one day and he called the makeup artist crying and he said, I'm so happy. And makeup, I said, why? Because I'm walking down Hollywood Boulevard and nobody stopped me and nobody recognized me.
Mm.
Can you imagine?
No. That's crazy.
But
Right.
I think he was one of the greatest ever. I mean,
Right.
him and Prince, I mean, they were innovators. They were, I don't think there's been anybody like them since then.
Right.
True.
Now, kind of extending on that, as far as you as an actor, a black man in acting, you started in the 70s, 21 to this day. Talk about your road and your, put us in your shoes a little bit as a black man going through Hollywood and your journey in Hollywood as a black man.
My journey it's been a gift to me. I've been limited because of my size and my skin color also. But I've had a lot of opportunities to do things that I really love and to work with some of the best directors and producers and writers out here today. So there's been the good, the bad, and the ugly, but there's been more good than bad.
Mm.
And the fact that I'm still working speaks for itself. I'm grateful to God for that. And people still recognizing me in terms of my talent and me as a human being. So it has not been an easy journey. In those days, it was it was impossible for me to be a leading man because of my size and my skin color. But I got a lot of character roles and other roles that I think I did pretty well with. So I have no complaints. I wish I had more freedoms, but it's the reality that I've faced and dealt with, and it is what it is.
Did you ever have any children?
No, I have a goddaughter, Natalie, which I love to my heart.
Okay.
But it was like, there's two reasons I think I never had kids or got married. One is because it's an up and down. My parents taught us, you better not have a child unless you can take care of it.
Yeah.
And so when I thought about it being in my business, 1 or 2 years, great. 2 years, no work. Next 2, I work. Then another year, no work. Well, children want to be fed and go to college and all those things and housed and clothing. And sometimes I ended up begging on the street for money. So it's like, I had friends that had 3 and 4 and 5 children. They didn't take care of them.
Right.
And so I think that I think I regret to a certain extent not having my own children. But at the same time, I feel like I'm more responsible human being because just having a child is one thing. Taking care of a child is something else.
Absolutely. We hear a lot about mental health, in particular in our community. We've heard that the last couple of years. And you said earlier on in the show that you also battled drug addiction, and then you had issues with skin color and size kind of prohibited you from getting certain roles. all kind of tying into mental health and what we deal with in our community. How did your drug addiction kind of stem from those things, or can you kind of run us through that if you don't mind me asking?
I think you take drugs to kill the symptoms of your pain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people can say to you, people say you go up to, in 2 weeks, you go up to eight auditions, right? And 8 different people tell you no, 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 no. People say get over it, right? But it does something to you in terms of your own self-regard. You feel you're not enough or good enough, and that rejection, because we're in the business of rejection, I think you both know that.
Yeah.
Rejection has an impact on you, psychologically and physiologically, and it creates pain. And so to kill the pain, I used to drink alcohol and take drugs.
You know, we hear a lot about race, but it's something that we've been dealing with as Black people throughout our lives, our entire lives. And when I think about when you got into acting and when you started getting into acting, 6'4", tall Black man, I can only imagine the things that you had to deal with coming into the game. So what got you into acting? What inspired you to take on that that role or that profession? And how was it? And what were some of the trials and tribulations that you had to deal with?
Well, I was in a play in junior college. Constance Kuhn was the drama and speech teacher, and she put me in The Emperor Jones by Gene O'Neill. And I never acted before, but once I did it, something clicked. And so I told my parents, and they said, no, it's not practical, especially these days. The only person then that had any real powerful fame was Sidney Poitier. I worship him to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And but there weren't many other people out there. And so they said, well, you're always writing in your journal. You should be an English teacher because teachers make money. So I went to BU. There's a class in the Radical called Chaucer. I'd fallen asleep for the 3rd time in that class. And my roommate, Israel Hicks, said, you should go up and audition. You keep talking about acting. Lloyd Richards was the first Black director on Broadway. You should go up there and talk to him about getting in. And so I did go up and I auditioned and I got in. And I'm glad there were no cameras or cell phones at that time, because the next semester I was dancing across a ballet floor in tights.
Mm.
It was not pretty. But anyway, and Lloyd became my mentor. I followed him to NYU School of the Arts. Did my first job at the Negro Ensemble Company. And then I became his assistant out in Los Angeles on a project for PBS called Go Watch. I was going to go back. He said, no, stay here. I believe in you. So I stayed, and eventually, I got a film called Car Wash, and went from there. I just feel blessed.